Do you like movies and games also? Listen, so much more they all know. Vice, Pyro, Lotus, and friends. Welcome to Corrective Consciousness.
Welcome to Corrective Consciousness special episode from MAGFest. I am your host, VyseTheBold, and this is
Lotus Prince
and PyroJackFrost.
And we have 4 special guests this time. We actually have the pretty much everybody except for Stephanie, which is great. We have
OldManStompy,
Minty Mitz,
Luminaire. You're not Luminaire.
Get the hell out of here, Mr. Ryu!
Catch me!
I just had an identity crisis. He took mine. I am Luminaire. The real Luminaire.
You're here too.
No, Mr.
Luminaire, I'm here too.
You are Mr. Ryu. Why are you?
Mr. Luminaire. All right.
Oh, snap.
So yeah, we are all good friends in real life, and
Okay, friends.
yeah.
It's declining by the minute.
But our favorite thing to do as friends is get together and do MAGFest every single year. And as I've done it over the years, I think it just becomes more and more fun. I for sure. I was kind of thinking maybe I might be getting old for going to conventions in general, but this year's been so much fun that it solidifies its spot in my mind as such a great time.
Well, the thing with MAGFest is even if maybe you think you're too old for the panels or something, but it's still a group experience where there's enough stuff to do that it's kind of ageless.
It's the ultimate geek out spot. It's a haven. The whole inside interior, the hotel, the Gaylord, is just great to hang inside in general. And then there's tons of places outside to eat. So it's I really just think of it as a vacation with my friends.
If that's what
Yeah,
it is. Pretty much
it's
what
a
it
great
is.
place to hang out. As long as you have friends to go with, there's no reason not to go. And if you're into this stuff there.
Yeah, I really think that the it's just like the ultimate hangout situation, because there's just so many things to facilitate you having a fun time. They have an arcade that's open 24/7, and it's all on free play. And they have a lot of really cool games, a lot of diverse stuff. They have rhythm games. They have even the really unusual rhythm games that are hard to get a hold of in the United States, like the Taiko Drum Master. People love playing that. There's always a huge line. There's tons of pinball machines. I actually saw one of my favorites is actually Bride of Pinbot. It's the second in the Pinbot out of 3 in the Pinbot series of pinball machines, and they did an overhaul on it that I'd never seen before. They added color text bars to it and made it look neat, and LED lights. So it's been really neat.
There's a lot of unique stuff too. Like some of the indie game developers will have actual arcade cabinets set up to play their games sort of as they were intended, as opposed to playing them on your PC.
Yeah, Lotus and I actually did a fair amount of playing in the developers arena, and it was...
You're being generous. You did a fair amount of playing. I watched 100% of the time.
Yeah, but they were fun though.
Yeah, no, it was actually fun watching.
Yeah, I played this I think it's called 360 rail shooter.
Yeah, sounds right.
And it's basically kind of like if you imagine Resogun or Defender mixed with Space Invaders. You have a turret on the bottom, and you're defending your position on the bottom of the screen while things go around, and you're moving around in a cylinder.
Yeah, despite it being called a rail shooter, you are shooting and you are literally riding on a rail, but it's not a light gun game or anything like that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Dealer's Room is... the various places in the Dealer's Room are open at their discretion. They can be open late if they want to be.
Yeah, it's interesting because the Dealer's Room is the entrance to the arcade area. So they let you in the Dealer's Room at any time, but the dealers themselves choose when they want to close. But they have everything from video games, toys, t-shirts, anime memorabilia, game memorabilia. They have whatever you want. You could probably find something or something close to that, except for Transformers.
which is like your main main thing that you
I
like.
heard that in your voice, like except for
Actually,
more
they
like
did have
un-Optimus
Japanese
Prime.
Transformers in one booth.
Yeah, but I don't really like collecting Transformers at conventions because they're way too freaking expensive. Like I look for Transformers special things. Like I got some stickers and I got like I might look for like maybe playing cards or stickers or buttons, like things that I wouldn't be able to find anywhere else.
Are you into
because the con prices?
Oh yeah, I was just about to say, are you into the show? But you could definitely find that elsewhere, and also con.
And I don't really
prices.
collect the old ones because they're way too expensive, and the new ones I can get them anywhere, so there's really no point.
Also, like the new ones are like a lot more articulate. I think they're like better toys.
Yeah, the old ones
I'm
were
not
cool
a collector
because they existed at all.
I'm not like a hardcore collector, so that's it. But yeah, so you can find a lot of things in the dealer's room, which is great.
I actually saw a really neat big Devastator, like the Constructicons.
That's awesome.
That's the new one.
Yeah, I was even tempted to buy that because like my favorite is Devastator.
I always like Devastator. Yeah.
If you guys get bored of like the walking through the merchant's dealer's room, you can always like walk next door, and the arcades are just right there. So you could just like go back and forth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think consoles too.
24/7 concerts too. There's a concert room which is always open. There's also like jam booths for people who just want to play music for 20 minutes at a time.
DJs.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the signs?
Hall music.
Nah.
Like the bottom option of all the signs is like a really funny thing. Like one is pointing down saying, "Isn't this a great looking tile?"
Nice.
And like
the one that
third
said,
of the people
there's a
here.
sign that says no alcohol past that point, and someone wrote underneath it, "Don't tell me how to live my life."
That's pretty good.
Or no, comma, alcohol beyond
Exactly.
this point.
They put a comma.
No, money down.
Yeah, and then like other than the dealer's room and the arcades, there's like panels. There's like OldManStompy said, there's the concerts. There's tons of stuff to do.
Yeah, and most conventions like close up at like 6 or 7, and like this one never closes. So like you don't have the time restrictions of most conventions. So I really just think it's one of those. Also, the group of people that's here, even though it's gigantic and it's getting bigger and bigger, tends to be a lot friendlier than most cons.
And not as obnoxious as other cons.
Yeah, I was going to say, compared to like Otakon, which you used to go to, where it was you go to the convention center itself, which has to close down, and then people go back to their hotels and everything like this. This is really, most people are inside the hotel, and then there are a few rooms where you need a badge to get into the con-specific things. But, like you said, the hotel is always open, and so people are outside in the halls and everything, and so I think that's something unto MAGFest itself.
It's a 96-hour party, basically.
Yeah. And by the way, one thing I think we should also mention is that the con has been getting bigger and bigger, like Pyro said, but it's gotten to the point where every single person in the hotel at this point is here for MAGFest, because in years past, there would be random people who were just staying in the hotel, and they'd be like,
I've still seen people, but it's
still
very
some
rare.
people, but it's like, who are these people dressed up or whatever?
Like I saw the guy in a business suit, I'm like, oh, who is he cosplaying as?
Yeah. But the thing is, though, this year...
Cosplaying for my job!
But the thing is, though, this year, you can just talk to any random person, and you know that they're here for MAGFest, so, like, everyone already has this sort of connection before anything's even begun.
Yeah, and I think that the people that come here are very like open and kind of like invite you to play board games with them, and I found that like just like simple courtesies in this large group of people is a lot like collectively better than most. I just found that they're more courteous generally.
Honestly, you should come here for the intention to make friends. If you want to meet more people with the same interests and you don't have many in your area, come here for that reason.
Yeah, I mean, I've even met like a couple people and gotten like phone numbers to hang out with them and stuff like that. So it's been people are a lot more open to talk to somebody that they don't know here. And it's been like that from year to year. So it's been really good.
I mean, we're fortunate. We're from the tri-state area, and so there's lots of people with those kind of interests. But because this is in DC, there are a lot of more to the south or to the west more, where there's less people in the area, and people from those states might have a harder time meeting as many people with those kind of interests. Or
we are from the most densely populated states.
It's also, if I'm not mistaken, the Tokyo Attack group that supplies a lot of the rare Japanese machines and the rhythm games. A lot of what they got originally, I think, came from a private collector in the Richmond area, which is why it was so easy for it to come to MAGFest.
Oh.
That's really great because the machines they do have are like really desirable. Like some of like I was. Yeah, Juby in
Ubi.
or Ubi, yeah, Ubi.
Well,
I guess.
They have like 12 cabinets.
American version, yeah.
Do they have that 4D shooter?
No, they do not. Screw that game.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like
Get to the end of the
Attack,
game.
the Tokyo Attack arcade cabinets are always lined up because they're Japanese arcade games, so people don't get to play them a lot. Like, even though there aren't many arcades in America anymore anyway, like, there are very few other places that have the Japanese arcade cabinets.
Yeah, what was that gun game at round 1 with the...
Gunslinger Stratos.
That's
Yeah,
like
that unfortunately hasn't been here.
But yeah, like the board game room is really cool. Like, they have like a place you can rent out board games, and then with that too, there's a board game that we played, the Bloodborne board game.
It was a card game.
Yeah,
card game.
I really love that game. I wanted to talk about it because like usually with the board games that we play, like it takes a long time for us to learn them, and like by the end of it, I'm just like frustrated because like the flow isn't good. So like it's not, and there's so many steps and intricacies, and you're waiting for everybody to take their turn. This one is like everybody plays all at once, so it's real snappy.
Semi-co-op.
Yeah, and it's semi-co-op, so
Just like Bloodborne.
It's a lot of fun.
And like, if you know what Bloodborne is or how it plays, the card game did try its best to provide a relatively authentic feel to how Bloodborne would work.
Yeah, it's
if
cool.
it were a card game.
It's like a risk your luck kind of game. You're all trying to compete to kill the monsters, but you want to get the most blood echoes, and I don't know if I love it as much as the rest of you, but I do enjoy it. I've only played it once, so I feel like I need to play it more.
I wouldn't play it 100 times, but it was very enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's fun, but I would say like I love it to death.
Yeah.
But I would still play it.
I just like the concept that you could die at any time, no matter how well you prepare. You could just die.
To you.
rolls.
I mean, yeah, with Bloodborne, it's a literal roll of the dice because you have no choice.
Yeah, and
Obviously,
I
in a real
rolled the
game,
worst
it's just hard
round
Plus.
Yeah.
I think that's what I kind of liked about it, that some rounds can just... the unpredictable factor, and like just only one person, because he played something that he would be immune to damage that round. Meanwhile, everyone else died flat out, and which I didn't even think was like a possibility.
Yeah, Mr. Ryu liked playing the cards that like hurt everybody else.
Cannon even like helped you.
The cannon.
Yeah,
the
cannon.
cannon.
Oh god.
And then the Molotov cocktail probably too.
I was about to play Molotov cocktail, but like, 2 cannons are enough.
The Molotov cocktail is such a dumb weapon because like you hurt yourself when you use it too. Just
Everything.
everybody. Yeah.
Well, it's also
How
funny.
bad of a
It's just
thrower
like,
are you?
I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to help.
Yeah.
We're all just dying.
There were some their actual strategy as opposed to just turn by turn in terms of the cards you have, knowing what cards,
knowing when to go back to the dream,
knowing what other cards other people have, and then that fine line between co-op of beating the monster, but also like in certain ways to like, oh, I managed to beat it in a single turn. Now, despite everyone else wanting to help, you don't get the benefits from
like,
doing that.
In a way, it's almost like Munchkin, where, I mean, in Munchkin, I think only the player who draws the monster fights it, unless they bring other people in.
But no, other players can play cards that might
that's
make
the
it
thing.
harder, easier, or I think there might be one in the new ones that you can steal. Like, once someone encounters a monster, you can be like, nope, I'm fighting it instead.
Yeah, because, like, the gimmick here is that everybody does want the monster dead, but you are trying to reap the most rewards at the same time, so you might willingly hurt yourself if only to prevent another hunter from getting
or you
a
can
lot
even,
of points.
If it's a monster that requires everyone to attack, you can always say like, "Hey, I'm going to attack it," knowing that if you don't attack it, it'll do a lot of damage to everyone else, and you don't attack it, you retreat to the dream, and everyone else gets massive damage. You're like, screw all you guys.
But then there's the
I'm
dynamic.
going home.
But then there's the dynamic of you being branded as a liar for the remainder of the game.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to really play it carefully.
And PyroJack, I don't know what the boss was for you, but when we played, the effect was any monster that ran away, and for most non-boss monsters, you have one turn to kill them, and if you don't, it flees. For everyone that ran away, we had to add another monster to the pile. What was your boss effect?
Ours was when you die twice, you're out of the game.
Oh my god! That's ridiculous.
And Minty Mitz was playing with me, and she died pretty quickly twice.
We were playing with Nikolash, who's about as annoying as he is in the real game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also played as a group Towerfall. We had a really good session of that, and I really enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a great party game.
Actually, Minty Mitz was actually destroying people in it.
I wasn't doing anything. I was just jumping on everybody's head. So
But like you spam arrows like unlike anybody else. You just like
No, in real life she was jumping on people's heads. That's why it was so hard for them to win.
So effective.
I will say that we didn't even really explore the... So that game has settings, and you can give everybody things like bolt arrows and bomb arrows all the time, and we didn't really explore that space of like absolute chaos. Just the game itself was already...
And it was without the expansion as well. So
Yeah,
it like half the game was missing, I guess, in terms of its current state. But I still had a blast playing it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It's a great
one
party
of my
game.
words was bad accounting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kept pressing the shoot arrow button, even if you had like no arrows.
And
It
also,
was effective.
and also the PS button on your controller.
Press all of the buttons.
I didn't play with all of you, but I played it before, and it is really fun. The only thing I don't like about it, the arcade version of it, is the screen is way too small.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, if you put it's here. If you go into the arcade, there's a you could say an arcade cabinet.
Oh,
it's like
you know,
really small.
You know what that is?
Setup?
That's the. It's actually a Ouya inside that cabinet. That's
okay.
why. So the updated versions, like for PC and PS4, like have borders on the sides.
Yeah.
I think you can widen the field of view.
But when I
too.
did play it on a normal screen, it actually is really fun. It is very chaotic, and there's all like so much shit going on.
Yeah, the game was originally an Ouya exclusive, and people actually bought Ouyas specifically for that game.
And then they
which is
wised
hilarious
up,
to me.
and they realized that Ouya is a shitty system, so you should release the more stuff.
Yeah.
It was never going to stay on there, but I really like that genre of games. I really love playing that genre of games with everybody. I don't know what you would call it. It's like single screen action, like.
It's just like a party game.
Yeah.
Game like.
It's like simple, yet like kind of
like Windjammers kind of falls in that category too.
But
it's like the
it
same
is
idea.
Bomberman is a really good example.
It's like
I love Bomberman.
A Bomberman
I'd marry
like
Bomberman.
game. I mean, they had a
He's
Nidhogg
mine.
tournament, and I kind of wish I had entered into that because that's a lot of
What
fun.
tournament?
Oh, speaking of
Nidhogg
tournaments.
tournament.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of tournaments.
Speaking of tournaments,
If you
Go
like,
ahead.
if you like ineptitude,
Mr. Ryu, go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah, go into it. Go
So
into it.
I just like entered a Super Smash Bros. Like Wii U tournament because like one of my friends entered it. I was like, oh, I'll enter it. I mean, I don't really like Smash competitively.
And
so when
we
I
all know,
went,
I mean, everyone who's listened knows that you're really into fighting games. So that's another thing.
except Smash.
Yeah.
That's not a fighting game. That's a party game.
It's a competitive
Yeah.
action game,
Yeah.
according to Sakurai. He really actually said it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyways, I entered this tournament. So I arrived there around like 8. It's supposed to start at 8. It doesn't start till 8:30 because like they're all trying to like get everyone
Technical stuff.
Yeah, and like they didn't set it up yet. So when they finally set it up, I just noticed how many entrants there were. There were 80 entrants, and I was just like, "What the heck? Why are there 80 entrants?" So they started setting it up. They turn on, and like
did they was 80 their cap, or did
was their
people just
cap.
keep signing? Okay,
it was their cap. I was like, "Why is 80 the cap? It should be like 32 if it's gonna be like a tournament."
Yeah,
and
it's
then
not
like because like it's a con tournament, not like a really big
Yeah.
like tournament. So they set it up. They turn on Smash. And like when they went to the character select screen, I just noticed that like not all of the characters are unlocked, only some of them. I'm like, oh boy, there's not even DLC characters. And then here's what they started to announce. All right, guys, we got
Probably not updated either.
No, it's definitely not updated.
Yeah.
So like they were like, all right, guys, so we have a lot of participants. So here's what we're gonna do to narrow down the competition. We're gonna have an 8-player free for all Smash, and to
It's
narrow
just
it
chaos.
down. And I'm just like, are you kidding
It's
me?
basically a
What,
party
did
game
it have
competition.
items too?
They probably did. I didn't know.
I can just imagine.
I just said no, screw this.
It's like
But
there's a
they
party
put-
game competition. They're not really making it a fighting game anymore because it's more than one against one.
It's like,
as
see who
Mr. Ryu-
crawls out of
It's
the
a
pit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, as Mr. Ryu said before you guys got here, it's basically like RNG at that point. If it's an
Yeah.
8-player free-for-all.
To me, it's whoever can crowd the ledge and then just hang there while everybody else beats the crap out
But
of
there's
each
also
other.
the matter of people teaming up, and it's just it's total
Yeah, that's
not how you do it.
What I find amusing about that is that they said, "Oh, we have a lot of competitors, so we're going to do this." Like that wasn't their plan to begin with.
Yeah, that wasn't
did
their plan A,
Did they
yeah.
have a cap at 80, but only expect 32 people to sign up? Like that's dumb. To
Yeah, how
begin
about you
with.
have a cap of 32?
So if you have a cap, first of all, they should have a cap that's power of 2.
Yeah.
So, and then they should. So even if they counted 64, at least then they could have made it like 1 against 1.
That's the thing. Like they only had one setup for the tournament, so that would actually
Really?
take forever if they did like a singles
That's so
tournament.
poorly planned.
So I'm just like, what the hell
This
is
is
this?
Why not just get like a whole bunch of TVs and a bunch of
Part of me-
views?
No,
Party
they
feels like-
didn't do that. It's just like
That's what a
one
tournament is based
big
on.
setup, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? This
I don't
is gonna
know
take
how.
forever.
I don't know how it's organized, but part of me makes this feel like some person said, "Oh, hey, MAGFest, I'm gonna host a Smash tournament. Would that be okay?"
Yeah, with
like,
my
These
system.
are like
no,
attendee,
and that's all I say, and they're like, "Oh yeah, sure." And the guy comes with one system, and
They
they're
didn't
like,
vet him.
and they're like,
Yeah.
"Are you serious?" And he's like, "Yeah," and it's like,
Yeah, I got my system, it's
okay.
fine.
because like these are
Oh, and I don't have enough money to buy the DLC.
Come on,
Could you
seriously.
get this?
if everybody in the tournament donates 50 cents to our Patreon, then we'll buy.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
but because like MAGFest has been going on for a while, so I kind of don't want to put the blame with this on MAGFest because they usually run their things pretty
No, it probably
well.
was.
Oh no,
This
this was an attendee run tournament.
Exactly.
Watch
yeah.
it be like 50 people that actually listen to the podcast that run that.
Oh, no!
We just insulted a quarter of our audience.
And they all,
Well,
have
here's
a,
what I have
they
to
all
say
get
to
a
you.
tier at the same
Screw
time.
you!
Or even just
Buys
one,
the asshole.
or even just that one person who set it up was a viewer, and it's just like
It's like Mr. Reed,
So,
more like Mr.
Lotus, watch
Waffle.
the community engagement when he goes like drops a little bit, and then
Yeah, like the
Just
like
drop
and
off.
dislike counter is like insane. It's like, oh no.
Oh.
you get one just like it's like, well, we know who that one person was.
Dink.
it was
One
me.
thumbs down.
Oh.
So like what I ended up doing was like there was like this stupid like modded brawl setup like kind of close by. It just had like it's called like Super Smash Bros. Like Brawl Funfetti version.
I really want to play this.
Like
I really wanna play
unfortunately
this.
like they someone took the setup out, but it is the goofiest like Smash I've ever played. Like it had like Goku,
Is it like
Vegeta.
rainbow almost like
Yes,
like
it's
Rainbow
like
Street
Rainbow
Fighter?
Street Fighter.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like broken. It has
Rainbow
and like
Street Fighter.
these are like movesets and animations made by fans, so they look
Oh,
really wonky.
so it wasn't even like them putting a different skin on an old character. They actually changed movesets too.
They actually like slightly altered it, but like it
Oh,
was
wow.
somewhat reskinned too. Because like it had like Goku, Vegeta, Sora, Cloud,
Sora!
Sephiroth,
Sora!
Beautiful Joe, Knuckles. There's
Beautiful
too many-
Joe!
Yeah, Beautiful Joe.
And Knuckles.
Knuckles.
Smash Brothers and
so
Knuckles.
Featuring Dante from Devil May Cry.
And it had like Marisa from Toho. I was like, what? And like, she wasn't even a 3D model. It was actually just a sprite from
Nice.
like,
So it's like
Don't
Smash Mugen.
yes, it's like Smash Mugen.
They need to add like Robo Jean Valjean from Arm Joe.
Like,
Oh,
and
yeah.
and all of the characters are really broken. Like Sephiroth's reach was like insane. It made like Mars sword look like a little stick.
Sephiroth does have a stupid
And like
sword.
Sephiroth, like he has like this, like I can't really like show it, but he has this like really goofy up here who's like,
Oh, he just like jumps and
and
flails.
just flails it.
We'll leave it to the viewer's imagination.
And, like they did add Ryu.
the
but,
listener's imagination.
like, they
Oh,
If
did
they're
add-
viewers, they'd be able to actually see it.
Touche.
The
They
audio
did
viewers.
add Ryu, but like he's clearly like a somewhat Captain Falcon reskin. And like when they did the Hadouken animation, he looks so stupid. He's like,
Oh, nice. He like tenses up like
He
Falcon.
can't control the energy he's gathering.
Yeah.
it looks like a
Turn
really wonky
sideways.
Kamehameha.
Is this
charge
still
up.
going on, or is it only like that one?
It's only that one night because like I guess
okay.
the setup was just removed. Because
Okay.
also the game.
I'll try to
crashes-
find that.
The game crashes a lot.
That's part of the fun.
that like adds to the hilarity. But enough of that for now.
I've seen funner Fetty than this.
But yeah, I mean, one thing that we haven't done yet that I hope maybe I can get off the ground is I have Crazy Power Disc Perfect on my laptop, and I hope to play that tonight sometime because Perry's
that
been
Crazy
wanting
Power
to play
Disc
that.
mention.
Yeah, there's your mention. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is, like, I finally got my consoleized MVS, my Neo Geo system, at home.
Yeah, now that you're not here.
Now that
yeah.
I'm not here. I was hoping to have it in time for MAGFest, unfortunately, but it just arrived at my house yesterday, so...
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. I just have to wait for next year, or, whatever. So, but, I mean... I just love doing these kinds of things with you guys because it's always a good time. Always a good time.
Anyone else have anything interesting that
Neo
went on?
Geo
Oh, yeah.
Moon Rock.
So yesterday I did a draft of the latest Magic the Gathering set. I've never talked about this on the podcast, but I'm a big Magic the Gathering nerd. But
Let's
I don't
keep it
really.
that.
I used to be, but no longer.
I don't really play that much these days, just because it's a really expensive hobby,
Very expensive.
and I have other things to spend
Yeah.
my money on right now. It's actually the first time I've done a draft since last year's MAGFest.
Oh, okay.
And the new set, Kaladesh, it's complicated, even for Magic.
Is it a new world or is it?
It's a new world, yeah.
Oh, is this the one that's based on Chandra's world?
Yes, it's based
Okay.
off so Chandra Nalaar is one of the... So they've tried to make
Do you
Magic
think
more...
they are tapping into a new market?
Yes, they are tapping into a new market.
We're old and
I'm just going to
alike.
indulge you and not and move on with my life. for once, I'm just going to say yes to something that Vice says.
Yeah, so Chandra's
happy right now.
is one of the planeswalkers.
So yeah, so they have this new set of characters they're trying to push called the Gatewatch. They're Magic's version of the Justice League, and they're like the planeswalker characters who are the heroes of the story. And so they're visiting their home worlds, and Kaladesh is Chandra's home world. She's
Is that like the main 5 from the original Planeswalkers?
Not
kind
quite,
of?
but there's one
Okay.
from every color.
Okay.
Is
Jace one of them?
Yes, Jace.
Like
Jace
that's
is one of them.
supposed to be like the
Isn't
whole
Jace a
conceit
dick?
of the Magic the Gathering concept, right?
Yeah, is
Isn't
that you
Jace
are
a
a
dick?
planeswalker? I don't know. He's a guy. Like the characters have gotten better developed. You know,
Okay.
Jace was like before he got character development, he was just an emo guy with a hoodie.
Yeah.
You know, and he was a blue mage, and blue is the color of being an asshole to everybody.
It really is.
Yeah. If you ever fight a blue deck, you're just very frustrated, especially if you're like a black deck
Yeah.
or a green deck.
Exactly. So Chandra is the red planeswalker, and part of what they're trying to do is red used to be the color of like aggressiveness, and they're trying to talk about how they're trying to discuss how the colors can have other positive aspects of them besides what they used to be manifested as in Magic. So red is now also the color of passion, the
Innovation.
color of
Yes.
ingenuity and
Yeah.
genius. So Kaladesh is an inventor's themed set, which means the cards, they didn't introduce a lot of new mechanics, but the cards are really synergistic. And so when you sit down and do a draft, you have to think, which is what I did, you have to think really critically. Like there's an energy mechanic now on top of the mana mechanic. Like cards make energy that you can spend to do things. And you look at this card and it's like, does some marginal effect, but it also gives you 2 energy. And you have to think, like, do I want energy? Am I going to want energy? Am I going to have to take cards that...
Yeah,
It's
and then
really
you have to
hard
put in
to-
cards that would use enough of them to
we
make a
sat
difference.
down and
It
it
seems
felt
really
like
hard to like start like if you don't know the cards.
it felt like I was sitting down with 7 relatively experienced players because the draft went really quickly. Like nobody stopped and thought a lot. But there was one guy who just sat down and opened a pack and he was like, "Oh my god, I have to read every single card."
Yeah.
And so we started playing, and in the first round, my opponent got mana screwed both games, and I won pretty easily. And I was just sitting there, and I was watching the other 3 games all go to time, because a round in Magic is 50 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And the second round, all of us went to time a second time, and my opponent conceded to me at the end because it was clear if I had a little bit more time I was going to win. So here I was sitting 2-0 and everybody else had 2 draws. So in the third round, of course, we all went to time again because the set was so complicated, and I was sitting here 2-0-1, and I walk up to the guy and I'm looking at the sheet and I'm in first place because I'm the only one person who won a round.
You got lucky with that mana screw. Yeah, you got lucky with the mana screw. Is one
Wow.
thing.
And of course because my second round opponent was nice enough to concede to me,
Yeah.
which he didn't have to do.
Yeah, exactly. But
So-
even so, if he didn't concede, he would still been in the lead because you had that one mana screw. win.
So the guy who was refereeing the draft, he looks at the sheet that says, "This is how many points you get for winning 3 games. This is how many points you get for winning 2. This is how many points you get for winning 1." And he's like, "Well, we didn't really do the math for this situation." So he just gave me some number of M points that seemed like the right amount, like scaling between the So for people who don't know,
They graded on a curve.
winning tournaments at MAGFest usually gives you M points, which is fake money that you can spend in
yeah.
the dealer room.
Last year's theme was like I forgot, it was like Tron or something like
Yeah,
that.
like
or-
Tron
or-
discs kind of thing.
Yeah, and
Or
they
is it the
did rupees
rupees?
one year too.
Yeah.
The rupees I really
I
like.
thought
I
last year
actually
was Metroid.
Oh, Metroid coins or something.
I don't know.
Oh, I think I remember that.
It's not real
The
coins. it's
Metroid ones were
little-
just like little circles.
Yeah,
the
those
rupees,
are
weren't really
the rupees
that.
I actually kept because they looked really cool.
Yeah.
That's $1 wasted.
I also did want to. Did you have anything else about Magic?
No,
you
that was
wanted
the story.
Okay.
It was a
Did they
3-hour
also
draft.
add focus attacks and a super meter?
I did want to mention another group activity we did. We watched Neil Breen's Pass-Thru.
That was hilarious.
Oh.
So, like,
You
for
should
anybody
pass
who doesn't know, and very good if you don't,
Don't do it, guys. Don't do it.
So a lot of people,
might enjoy it.
a lot of people have said over the years that The Room is the Citizen Kane of bad movies. And while, as much as I love The Room, Neil Breen has made 4 bad movies very consistently. Whereas Tommy Wiseau has made 1 bad movie, and that's all he's really made, and kind of a really terrible show.
Each more Neil Breen than the last.
I don't think I've watched any of them, but from what I've heard, he doesn't do it on purpose.
No,
he's like the Yui Bowl of bad movies.
He's insufferable. Just to give you an idea, it's basically like if a middle schooler wrote a drama or action movie. He has all of these ideas about how the politics and corporations are corrupt, but that's all he says.
Yeah,
he just says they're corrupt.
Specific, and you'll see a conversation between 2 sort of bad guys who are just like, "Oh man, we sure can slant the news for that politician," and that's really kind of what they say, and it's basically meaningless.
Oh, and he's also Jesus, literally or metaphorically, in all of his movies.
Yeah, he basically was Jesus in his second movie.
What baffles me is that he found out how to the logistics of making a movie. He knows that he has to get permits. He knows he needs shooting locations. He knows how to arrange all these things, which is actually the hard part about making a movie. The really hard part. And then you can hire good people to be actors and other people to be on set. But the hard part is arranging all of the bureaucracy that goes along with making a movie. And he somehow can do that consistently, but has no idea what editing is.
Yeah, too bad it can't make a movie.
What writing is, what acting is, also what makes good framing, anything. Really.
Oh, the framing's the best. It's just the guy's face is the whole screen.
I don't need this.
Oh, he loves
I don't need this anymore.
He loves the fade effects so much.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have star wipe, so at least he isn't doing that, but he's doing drone shots, complicated drone shots, but doesn't know what frame rate is and how you need to have a consistent frame rate in a movie.
It's kind of it's like that one person said when we were actually watching the movie, he knows that it's going to be a lot less of a drain on the battery if he lowers the frame rate, so that's what he did.
Yeah, but it's noticeable.
You can clearly
takes
see
you
it
out of the movie.
I should also say that if you actually look at the credits, the cameraman and the editor is the only person in the entire credit sequence who's
not
clearly
Neil Breen.
Yeah, he likes labeling himself as a cast member.
And by the way, one other thing is that the drone always is for some reason is equipped with a fisheye lens.
Yeah.
So. But the thing is, he does these way zoomed out shots, and he pans. So
it's warped.
Yeah, do you remember that scene from Inception when they were learning how to manipulate the dream world when the city starts rolling up? It's a lower scale of that, but it's actually
it's not on purpose.
But it's actually a little disorienting. You kind of see the world roll, and you're kind of whoa, it's almost motion sickness inducing, even though nothing fast is happening.
He digitally zoomed with it, which is a big no-no. With a fisheye lens like that, you have to optical zoom, and he digital zoomed. So he it has different a much different focal point depending on how much zoomed in he is.
I should also say, sometimes with the camera work, when you watch other older Z-grade movies, a lot of the time the camera will be focused on the wrong thing, or the boom mic will be in the shot, and that could be a drinking game unto itself.
I don't think.
But Neil Breen, when he does bad pans or focuses on the wrong thing, it's because he doesn't know what he's supposed to be focusing on and is intentionally focusing on the wrong thing.
Yeah. We don't get any boom mics or anything like that. It's just a bad movie.
But he has really weird special effects, like clip art, fire coming out of a gun.
That's the best. And no blood.
No, that's
cuts.
Yeah, he doesn't make errors or mistakes so much. His taste is bad.
In Pass-Thru,
you're gonna
there was a scene
disappear.
where a guy shot himself in the head, and he put the clip art muzzle flash on top of the guy's forehead.
Yeah,
which is physically impossible. It's actually more effort than doing what it would look like in real life, which is not to have the muzzle flash at all.
There's no bullet coming out of the other side of his head or anything.
Yeah, you can
it's
put
just
the clip art bullet instead of the clip art muzzle flash.
He smash cuts the moment they pull the trigger, so I think he's trying to dodge that bullet. But the muzzle flash thing is hilarious.
Go home.
Also, he likes to use sound effects you could just finding Google just by
Yeah,
typing,
they're
like,
not.
one shot.
They're not even fixed to make it sound like they're organic either.
It's
like,
great. That's what makes it fun.
They're like in a test, like a sound chamber, like
laid over the.
No,
track.
speaking of which, in one of his earlier movies, there's a conversation he's having one-on-one with this one person, but it never shows them really both in the same room. It's like close up with Neil Breen, close up with the woman he's talking to, close up with Neil Breen, but they were obviously filming at different times because you could sort of hear a motor or an air conditioner like in the background when Neil Breen's talking. When it comes to the woman, like the background noise is way better. There's you can really tell.
So like Birdemic, where you walk in and then you're
in the restaurant.
Hi!
Like the feedback. You're like, it's kind of like that. Yeah.
You're gonna sell me some gas.
There's also
the lighting is garbage too.
From the previous, is it which was the one where he gives a press conference in front of the White House, and like every time he talks, after he finishes speaking,
Fateful
like an
Findings?
applause,
just stock applause.
and
That was
applause
Fateful
track comes
Findings.
on with no
Oh, God.
fade in. It just starts people just start applauding and then stop very abruptly.
But also twice.
That's not how clapping works.
Like this must be how it must be like to be Neil Breen in his head.
No, but not only that.
Like
but not
people
only,
are just all good as a group and stop
But
clapping.
not only that, but twice,
all the time after he talks.
twice when it showed that though, it particularly focused on all the cameras that were facing him and
there's
microphones.
nobody there.
There's nobody there to hear the applause. But what I also loved is that there was applause when there was no business for there being applause. You've been had by these corporations. I'm going to expose some serious stuff like applause. It's like what?
The most distracting thing to me is that he's supposed to be giving, like you said, a speech to people, and then I guess he just turns his head as if he's supposed to be looking at the
looking
people.
around.
It's supposed to be the people he's looking at who he's talking to.
Expressionless.
But it looks more, based on how it's shot, it looks more like,
he was distracted. Yeah, he was distracted by something.
Only his face, his affect is still totally flat, and it's just like... it just stares into space to the side. It's so distracting.
One thing I definitely love across his 4 movies, though, is in the first movie, of course, he's this ultra-powered Gary Stu character who's like, I'm going to teach them for messing with me, and he's like the best at everything. But in the second movie, like Luminaire said, he's
Gary Stu in all of his
No,
movies.
but he's Gary Stu in that one, but he was a dude who was going to get revenge on these people who screwed him, and he's going to, I can do whatever I want. But in the second movie, he was almost literally Jesus. He was, in the credits, the being, and he was like, you humans got to clean up your act. And in the third movie, the Fateful Findings one, he had that press conference, and he was like the Gary Stu in the first movie, but this time he's like, the world must know. I'm telling the world with this press conference. And then the last movie, the one we just watched, he was a sort of god being, like an AI that never plays into anything. And once again, he goes on TV, the world must know. It's
I've
like he really
never
hammers it
seen
in.
so much movie that had such a lack of plot. It was like a black hole of plot. Like, things happened, but to no end and, like... to nothing. Like, things were being said, but I don't know to what end.
And there's also lots of
He can control the plane.
I don't even know what the movie was about, and I watched it.
By the way, there's also lots of padding in these movies. There's a fan cut of the third movie, and it's like 36 minutes long. And
it's
normally
great.
the movie's like 90 minutes.
The weird thing to me was during the movie that we watched, there was like a newscaster sequence where he was talking at a news desk.
Yeah, that's
and it was actually like expertly cut like a real newscast where it had like different camera angles.
Oh, like a three camera
studio.
studio.
And it's like, how did he get this right? How did he do this part?
He probably did it in an actual news studio.
There's no way to see all that stuff.
Yeah, but he probably did it at an actual like place where they do that.
But I'm just thinking, like, even when he's has full control of the camera, he doesn't focus on the right things. He doesn't pan the right ways. How did he?
The newscasters are way zoomed out.
How
like,
did he
you
talk?
see the whole room.
Like exactly into
And
the
three
right
of them-
camera
and-
all the time.
and three
at the
of the
right time with
monitors
the right
had the
cues. Did
test
he have
color
a
bars.
professional?
He's consistently inconsistently inept. It's really weird. It's like he's really good at the things that matter the least.
He might be a decent indie movie producer if a better director came in.
Great execution of poor...
Like, he has the logistics down. He knows what it takes to make a movie.
And just someone to clean the fucking camera lens.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's something that I pointed out, and then, like, everybody's like, yeah, Jesus. Like,
Yes,
There's like dirt on the lens.
If there's one thing he can portray well, it's filth.
Well,
That's very sad.
It's like camera, like, being a cameraman, like, the very first thing you do when you take out your camera is clean the lens.
The lens
so
cap
it
off as well.
So it doesn't
Yeah,
so
he
it
nailed that part.
doesn't show up on camera, and like if you're especially in a bright lit area with natural sunlight, it's going to show up.
This guy lives in the Las Vegas area, so he's always filming in this one particular location in the desert. So there's nothing but space and sun,
And
so it's just filth all over the lens.
And he's supposed to be a homeless guy, so he's always dirty. Or at least that's like Mr.
No, I
Yu
think
said,
that
he
was the
portrays filth really well.
Well, no, I think that was my assumption is because he was this AI from another world or something. I think what I think happened.
It's a
now
symbol.
That what I think happened.
It's symbolic.
What I think happened now that the movie's over is that he was a homeless guy and then died, and then the AI descended and used his body. That's my best guess.
But what was weird was that he had like dirt on his cheek, and it was different dirt in every.
And they address it in one scene. He's just like, "Oh yeah, I just dirt."
So it's like it means that
at some point?
those were all
Sure.
different takes, and he put different dirt on his face intentionally.
Yeah, he couldn't stay dirty for too long. There was no continuity error
But he took
whatsoever.
like a shower and wiped it off between every take and put it back
It's
on
a different
again.
day. Like he's just like, no, I need another shot out
he
there.
probably filmed the movie like in order, like a sequential order.
Ugh, which is idiotic.
Mad Max 2 did that though. They actually filmed in order.
Yeah, that's stupid.
It is, but they nailed it.
Yeah, Neil Breen, a series of inconsequential events.
So,
Yes.
actually, a loyal listener and great friend of ours that's here with us, Perry, he actually cosplayed as one of Neil Breen's characters.
Yeah, Double Down.
From Double Down, and he was recognized immediately. He was
on the
worried that
elevator.
nobody would know who he was. He was recognized immediately when we went into public, like both times that he dressed up. It was just really funny. Like when he walked into the lobby of the hotel, like somebody recognized him as well.
Apparently he was recognized. He said people spoke to him about the costume like 4 times, and he might have been recognized more than that with people in passing, like, oh, Neil Breen or something like that. That's amazing.
It's like enough people know,
I think
like are
Red Letter-
connoisseurs of trash.
I think Red
here.
Letter Media drew enough attention to it, because that's how Perry heard about Double Down in the first place.
Yeah.
When they were like interviewing Max Landis, and he had them watch Double Down, and it like broke their brains.
Yeah. I think we're just in the right spot for that kind of cosplay.
Yeah.
It's anybody who's a connoisseur of fine crap. You should take a look at it.
You
I
can
don't
watch
know.
the first 3.
I mean,
at least give it a shot. The first 3 movies are on YouTube.
At least to me, when a movie is really bad, like aside from laughing at it, what's interesting academically is how it came to be that bad. But with this case, it's just because he's a terrible filmmaker, and that is pretty much the end of the story.
Oh, by the way, one more sort
Usually
of.
it's like executive meddling,
it's-
and then
yeah,
like somebody
it's-
dies during the
It's
production.
reminiscent of the
Yeah.
scene in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy where Arthur Dent goes to this woman for like advice in life, and she's like this hermit who's smelly and lives in a cave, and she gives him her life story, and she's like, "This is my life. Here are all the decisions I've made. Make the opposite of all of my decisions because I'm a smelly hermit living in a cave. If you want to make a movie, do everything the opposite of what Neil Breen did."
By the way, I should mention one other thing that makes this last movie funny on a meta level is that the guy who actually had the movie on him mentioned that the movie did not come with a case. Like, the case he had it in was some other movie's case.
It's like home burned.
No,
Sorry,
but
doesn't-
here's the thing.
Sorry, it doesn't come in
Like,
packets.
here's the thing. What was great about it was that it was $25 for the movie because of Blu-ray, and it was like an additional, I forgot what he said, 10 or 15 shipping for just a disc. And what's even funnier is that, like you said, it must have been a burned disc, burned off of Neil Breen's PC or something, because the PS4 would not play it because it's a burned disc. He had to get an old, worse Blu-ray player to play the movie, which is hilarious. Oh, and you know how with DVDs there was like an evolution of when you open them? Like at first there was just nothing, it's just
Menus.
a screen, choose. Then there was like these overly elaborate CG things that were cool,
and
but
like
then we wanna
music
stop.
looping and things like that.
But then they kind of went back to maybe not a still screen, but a quick little animation to get to the movies. This has none of that. You put in the disc, and the movie plays. It's like a VHS. It's like, what? It's just amazing for that reason, too.
Well, I does anybody want to talk about anything else? Because I think we hit all the major topics.
Yeah.
Okay, so I really want to encourage people to go to cons like this, and anybody who's actually thinking about creating a con, like what makes this one so unique and fun. I know there are a lot of people that are thinking about like making their own conventions and things like that, and turning it into a business and becoming an entrepreneur. And I just want to let people know why this one makes it so good. It's the company. It's the big group of people, and it's also like the location.
And it's because it's not a bit like it's not a business convention kind of. Like PAX East was fun,
Yeah, PAX and E3
but it
are very
became
serious business.
a lot more of like businesses
Corporate.
like.
Yeah.
Orientated.
Like even Otakon became like that too. Yeah, because corporations
Isn't
are
that
corrupt.
immoral?
It is true
Isn't that
like,
corrupt?
Like one of the many reasons it's so hard to get PAX tickets is because places like Riot Games get like huge numbers of passes to give out to their friends and
Oh
family.
yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, so it's like when if you're
And-
gonna do that, just keep it to simple.
Also,
Con by fans for fans.
It's also
Yeah.
because a lot of them are black market. I mean, they've done things to curb things over the years, but I think it's still like people
The
people are
scalpers.
like the scalping in that one. They know that it's such a hot commodity when they release it that it's just fed on itself.
And
over
I was
the
actually
years.
really frustrated this year because I think both of us actually managed to get into the queue to get PAX East tickets this time around.
Yeah.
Like, we actually made it in, but the thing was there was no weekend.
Super expensive.
Yeah, there was no weekend rate. It was $50 for a ticket per day, so you can buy 3 tickets, and it's $150 to attend the con. I'm like, no,
Yep.
like, there's no way.
And,
And I like PAX, but like, are you kidding me?
PAX-
I
PAX
spent like a
used
third
to
of that
be-
last time.
PAX used to be great. PAX East used to be great. We used to go to it every year,
Well,
but
I'm sure
it's
the con
become
still is great, but there's such a wall now.
it's such a hassle going there, and I like that it's PC focused too, because like
That is pretty nice.
like most conventions are either like console focused or anime focused. This one is like has a lot of like PC games and indie titles, but I just it's such a hassle to go there because of the ticketing system.
Yeah.
So
They did do a lot better, but it's still now it's just expensive. Like
Yeah.
now the ticketing system works, but it's just so expensive. And then, I mean, this is just personally for us, but it's like a 5-hour drive for me, 6 for you, Vice.
Yeah.
And it's just like, come on.
So, in closing here, you know, we're not going to do our normal Q&A session or or my weigh in because I don't have a bathroom scale.
You didn't
I could
bring
pick
a
you
Here
up.
goes
scale to
a-
the
I
con.
could pick you up and guess.
30 stone.
One hogshead.
But I want to give people a taste of what it's like when we interact all together. This is pretty much what a normal conversation from us sounds like when we're all together. So
I'm just
I don't
punching
know, I
people
think-
a lot less than I do.
I think a lot of our
I'm on my best
conversations are,
behavior.
like abnormal. I don't know.
Well, that might be kind of the draw, though. Our
This is
conversations
pretty
are weird.
structured for a conversation that we have in real
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot less personal insight.
We're sticking just to MAGFest. Yeah, let's personal.
yeah, at least we have a topic. So once again, I want to thank our viewers for encouraging our show. You know, we get a lot of really good criticism as well. We've been getting different ways to structure it over the years. You know, we'll adjust it over the next couple weeks, and we'll move forward here with the project. It is now officially 6 months old.
Yeah, half a year.
Yeah, last episode was 26, right?
Yeah. So there are going to be big things happening with Corrective Consciousness from here on out. We have a really good format. Like our base is good. So we're going to move on, and I'm going to do a lot of work on it this week actually. So once again, you can friend me on any of our various social platforms, on Twitter, on SoundCloud, on PSN. Steam, I'm VyseTheBold, VyseTheBold, and keep asking questions because we need to add more to the bank as well. And
Yeah, we do have a healthy amount now, but
keep
we can
doing
always
it.
use more.
Keep
Yeah,
doing it.
We can answer your questions.
I also want to preface also that future questions we may arrange for certain guests to be present because they're really knowledgeable on a specific subject. So don't feel insulted if we postpone a specific question. We want to give a better answer and have a better conversation about it. So
Fighting games, Mr. Ryu, that's your territory.
we're totally going to avoid OldManStompy for any future WWE discussions because he
wanna
really
be there
wants
anyway.
it. But anybody else want
You've
to?
been tied up in ropes this whole podcast.
Get out of my hotel room.
Who are you people? Do your sign offs, guys. Here.
Until next time, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Please like and subscribe.
Check out some of the links in the sidebar.
Well, we've done a lot of damage. Don't forget to pick frames or no frames. JavaScript. Okay. Anyway, we'll have another regular podcast next week. This will be like a special episode. It won't be like continuity 27, episode 27.
This is a guidance.
This is a filler.
Yeah.
This is a filler episode.
But
Corrective Consciousness guidance.
Yeah.
we couldn't pass up the opportunity to have the vast majority of the cast all in one spot, and everybody wanting to do it. So thank you very much, and we'll catch you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Corrective addendum.